Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me. On behalf of Lieutenant General Harder, the Commander of the United States Army Reserve, I bid you greetings. Now, as Mike said, I did 28 years. I joined the Army straight out of law school, Brooklyn Law School. The motto back then was, be all you can be, and I was so excited until I saw that this was all I was going to be. But I retired after 28 years in 2015, and then 6 years ago, the Army said, we got a proposition for you. We're going to give you a fancy title, Army Reserve Ambassador, give you 2 stars, a flag, no money, and lots of work. Sign me up. So in my role as the Army Reserve Ambassador, I've delivered a number of Veterans Day speeches. But something happened last month that made me start to question something. Who is a veteran? I was putting on a CLE in Nassau County, and Deputy Counsel for the New York State Department of Veteran Services, Ben Parmans, did this amazing slide deck on veterans, myth or reality. And it turns out the legal definition of veteran depends upon, are we talking about the state, are we talking about the feds, and what benefit are we talking about? For me, someone who's devoted his entire adult life to the military, I found this answer to be rather unsatisfying. To me, as a veteran, anyone who's raised their hand and taken that oath, whether they be on active duty, reserve, the Guard, whether they've gone into a combat zone, or they stayed here in the United States. Because when you raise your hand, something unique happens. Now, all of us in this room are engaged in public service. Everyone in this room took an oath to uphold the Constitution. And many of us are involved in charitable organizations. The judges and the court staff are on the front lines of the administration for justice. The court officers ensure that the work is done smoothly and without fear for safety. But the veterans, they took one step further. They took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution with their lives. And some of them have even paid that ultimate sacrifice. And for officers like myself and Mike Farkas, as well as a buddy of ours, retired Justice Joe Maltese, that oath does not end until we die. We are subject to recall to the day we die. So the veteran takes on a sacred responsibility, and in exchange, gives up some of their civil rights. In the civilian world, if you don't like your boss, you quit your job. In the military, you can't do that. And the military can move you from some very comfortable places to some very uncomfortable ones. And the service member has to go. In fact, being late for work is actually a crime. Families are separated for months or years. Weddings, births, birthdays, funerals, graduations, and anniversaries are missed. The family, in my opinion, they're also veterans. A spouse must raise children alone, children who are separated from a mother or a father. These families understand sacrifice. Several years ago, I was away on a mission, and my wife called to inform me that the biopsy was positive. I didn't know she was going for a biopsy. My general, who was standing right there when I took the call, said to me, I will put you on a plane today to go home. My wife said, no. Finish the mission. We'll deal with it when you get back. That's a military spouse. Why do we do it? Why do we give up so much and shoulder so much responsibility? Everyone has a different military story. But in the end, all of those who serve feel drawn to duty and responsibility. Service changes us in profound ways. It focuses us and it crystallizes in us a sense of duty. It creates bonds that don't exist anywhere else, and definitely not in the civilian world. Sergeant Martinez and I, we have a bond. He and I served together in the 78th Division. Mike, he and I served together. Judge Yashoni, he and I served together. The bond even exists with strangers. I'll tell you a quick story. I was going to hop on the LIRR and go to the ticket machine, and there's this old guy trying to figure out how to get his ticket. Now, I'll be honest. I was very annoyed. I needed to make that train, but I pretended to be nice because I'm a lawyer. I know how to act. So I start helping with the machine, and he apologizes in a southern accent and says, "I'm sorry, I'm from out of town." I politely asked, but have no interest in the answer. "Oh, where are you from?" He said, "Fayetteville." Everyone in the Army in the room knows exactly what that means. Guy's retired military. So when he said Fayetteville, I said, "Oh, retired?" I didn't say retired what? I said retired. He said, "Yes." And I said, "What rank?" He said, "CSM, Command Sergeant Major." At that moment, he and I became friends. Never met the man before. He served, and he was a senior NCO. Who is a veteran? A person who has raised their hand with pride and commitment. So don't thank us for our service. It has been our pleasure and our privilege to serve you. Thank you very much.